Welcome in if you are a first time viewer. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and to those of you who have booked a personal reading with me. Please keep in mind that these are general messages. Do not take them personally. Take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find the information in the description box below. So let's get into this message. What message do you have for the collective at this time? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is that I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver the message that you deem worthy for the serve the highest good, for the highest good of humanity, for harm to none. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? Okay. This is a lot of crown chakra energy, right? A lot of intuitive knowledge, a lot of intuitive awareness, right? With the healer card, definitely connected to your emotions, right? So you could be receiving a lot of intuitive guidance, a lot of answers you have been seeking, right? There could have been like a yearning sensation or like some sense of emotions that you were feeling, but you weren't necessarily tapping into them because you were kind of blocking yourself off from them, trying to make sense of them through a space of logic, right? Whereas you could have been intuitively feeling the connection to these emotions, all the while trying to logically make sense of them. I hope that is making sense in the way that it's coming through. But it definitely feels like it's almost as if all of the answers that you have been asking for, you're receiving answers for them at this time, right? You're receiving the sense of awareness, right? You're receiving the sense of clarity, right? There is a more sense of groundedness in how you are accessing your emotions, right? Instead of trying to logically make sense of them, it's almost as if you are trying to process them emotionally, right? Trying to actually experience what it is that your emotions are trying to tell you at this time, right? You are using your emotions as a sense of guidance to lead you to where it is that you feel you have been receiving um, answers for, right? And it's almost as if it's becoming so like loud, the like yearning or the sensation or the desire or um, the craving, so to speak, right? It's becoming so loud or so frequent. It's almost as if it's hard to ignore, right? You can no longer push down these emotions, right? Because they're constantly coming to the surface, trying to tell you something. And the fact that it's constantly coming up, it's almost as if you have no choice but to acknowledge it, right? You can't and it's almost as if it's like it's growing in a sense, right? It's not just as if you are experiencing a certain emotion, but also the fact that the intensity is um, becoming, I don't want to say unbearable, but again, hard to ignore, right? You can, again, no longer block it off. You can no longer try to pretend as if it doesn't exist. However, this is resonating for you, right? I don't want to say this as if it's like taking control of your life because it doesn't seem like you are unable to get anything else done. But it does seem like it is a distraction, right? Because you have been ignoring it for so long, because you have been trying to push it to the side, because you have been trying to silence these emotions or feelings or desires that you have been having. It's just becoming so much of a distraction. Like it's almost as if it's like a wound that you have been trying not to cater to that is just becoming more painful, right? To the point where you don't have a choice but to go see a doctor, but to go see a healer, but to tend to the wound that is calling for healing, right? Something is shifting within this energy. You're also getting ready, you're also like seeing the growth within a certain emotion that you have been having or something regarding matters of the heart, right? Again, this can be like a desire to make a big move. This can be a desire that you've been having to confront family matters. This can be a desire that you've been having to confront matters within a friendship circle. Or maybe this is a desire to start a new like career or business, right? Or to invest in something, a new idea that you have been sitting on, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be connected to a person, although it may be for you. However, there is again this desire is becoming so like intense that you can't look away from it. You can no longer try to turn away from what it is that you are being called towards. And again, it's almost as if you're like getting a sense of like you're seeing things so much more clearly, how things have progressed over time, how you have been um, maybe you're realizing when this first started, like what triggered this emotion, and now you're seeing like the clarity of how not acknowledging it in that space has caused it to get to this intense point where again you can no longer ignore it. And it's almost as if it's becoming like such a distraction that you can't control it either. Like you can't tame it. Like you can't not see. You can't press it down any further. Like something has outgrown its shell almost. Like purify cycle, the Ace of Pentacles and the beginning, right? With the Four of Wands, I knew that it was going to be something like that. So you got the Four of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, right? A reflection, a mirror. You're seeing yourself within something, the Hermit, something that's just, this is like self-reflection energy, right? Again, remembering that, like a second ago, I said that it's something that you have been feeling like intuitively guided towards. However, because it may not have made sense for where you were within that moment. You were trying to logically make it fit. And because it did not fit logically within the existence that you were currently in, you tried to suppress it, right? And now it's becoming such a distraction. It's becoming like it's growing in such a way, this feeling, this desire, this emotion, right? It's growing in such a way that it's becoming so intense that you have no choice but to look within, right? To kind of meditate on where this seed was planted, right? Why you feel so drawn to this, right? Why you feel so connected to the root of what this is, right? Because this is not just it feels like a soul tie, right? It's connected to a certain purpose within your life. It's not just something that is here to um, go or come and go, right? It's something that you're tethered to. It's a purpose, something that you're connected to in a way that you can't disconnect, right? Just like how it's almost as if like how your muscles and your tendons are connected to your bones, right? Like you need them. You can't you can't ignore the importance of it. And so you're starting to see the reflection of why you need this, why this opportunity was presented in your life, why this seed was planted in your spirit, and why you have been feeling so guided and so drawn to whatever this is, right? Again, whatever this is going to resonate for each of you differently. This can be a lifestyle. Maybe you feel as if you need to make a major lifestyle change and you are in such a space where you try to not make the changes. However, life is becoming so difficult that you're having no choice but to make those changes, right? Or again, maybe this is an idea that you were being called to invest in. However, at some point you didn't see how you could fit this into your life to bring it into fruition. But you're seeing so many synchronicities and so many um, connections or answers that you don't have a choice but to invest in this idea, right? Because you know that it's clear, right? You can no longer ignore the purpose of whatever this is in your life. There is a connection to your mind, your body, and your soul. It's not necessarily something you can make sense of. It's not even necessarily something that you may have all of the answers to right now. But spiritually, this is something that you are, yep, because it's connected to your purpose, who you are, who you're meant to be, right? It's connected to your soul's purpose, right? It's connected to who you are as an individual, even though you may not have seen the importance of whatever this is in your life, it is of great importance because it is the other half of you. It's the other part of you. It is a mere reflection of who you are, right? It's the part of you that will make you feel whole, will make you feel seen, will make you feel desired, will make you feel purposeful, right? It will give you intention, it will give you clarity, it will give you a sense of motivation, a sense of inspiration, right? Whatever this is, it's something that you are committed to, right? Something that you how can I put this into words? The Four of Wands is like a marriage card, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean married to a person, right? If you want to know more about what it specifically is for you, book a personal reading. But this is like something that you are committed to for a lifetime, right? It's a lifetime connection because there's a spiritual purpose, right? Something that is worth celebrating, something that is um, meant to inspire other people, right? Something that is meant to grow who you are as a person. It's meant to show you who you are on a deeper level, right? It's meant to give you a sense of deeper insight about where you are meant to go, the purpose you're meant to feel, the intention that you have been looking to fulfill, or the intention that you have been seeking within something, right? You may have been making moves towards things and not really understanding why you were making those moves. It just you were just kind of going off of your intentions, or maybe you were just kind of going off of not intentions, your intuition. Maybe you were just kind of going off of what it is that you just felt for that specific day or for that specific moment or time period, right? And whatever this is that is coming in for you, it's going to make it all the more clear, right? It's going to serve as a purpose as to why you set and created the foundation that you have so far, right? Because again, whatever this is, is going to multiply whatever it is that you have already, the foundation that you have already set, right? It's going to solidify whatever it is that you have already created. It's going to um, create a firmer foundation, right? It's going to put you in a place where it is able to grow more fruit, right? Because again, it's going to reflect what it is that you're already emitting, right? So again, it's not going to diminish what you are, it's not going to take away, it's going to add times 10 what it is that you have already created, right? Because again, there is a spiritual connection, there is a soul's purpose that is greater than you, right? It's something that is meant to um, how can I put this into words? It's something that is meant to be shown through you to inspire other people around you, right? So whatever this is for you is whatever this is that's coming in for you is not just for you, right? It's for the people around you as well, right? It's sometimes it's kind of hard to fathom that like our life purpose is not for the sole purpose of our personal fulfillment, but your legacy is meant to touch other people around you as well, right? It's meant to touch, that's the whole foundation of a legacy in general, right? It's about the lives that you touch with whatever it is that you create, whether you create a family, whether you create a sense of community, whether you create a sense of art within a sense, right? It's not just what you create, you are the vessel, right? But it's meant to touch. It's the purpose of it is going to touch everybody who it is meant to through you, right? So again, this is also going to show you who you are in another aspect, right? It's also going to show you who it is that you have the not the potential to become, but who you are meant to become, right? It's going to show you the reflection of yourself that you may not see within someone else, right? Maybe not within someone else, but within maybe this avenue, maybe this creation, this business, right? It's going to show you who you are through whatever it is that you create, right? So that you'll have a different sense of commitment to yourself. You'll have a different level of respect for yourself. You'll have a different level of purpose for your life, right? Your life will have a deeper sense of meaning and intention because you'll have something else to live for other than you, right? It's also about what it is that you are creating. Again, not just for you, but for all of the lives that it will touch outside of you, right? The death card, the transformation is who you're becoming. You see all these trees here? There's growth, right? That we're coming into the season of fall, right? Things are, it's almost as if you're going through a season of rebirth, right? Where you're letting go of things that are no longer aligning with whatever this is that you feel tied to. So again, if this is a business, if this is a career path or a sense of community that you're finding yourself in or a new lifestyle, everything that does not match whatever this is that you are spiritually connected to is falling off, right? Because it cannot go where you are going because it's the time has passed, the season is over, right? It's time for you to be born, reborn into something new, whatever it is that you are creating, right? The Three of Cups, a connection, right? Because it's about what you're connected to. It's about emotionally, right? The Three of Cups speak to relationships, emotional connections. So maybe you were investing in things that just kind of made sense logically. However, you didn't necessarily have an emotional connection to them, meaning they didn't necessarily have a true sense of purpose in your life, right? They just were because it made sense. Everything that just made sense, it's no longer there's no longer any space for things that just make sense, right? Because whatever this is, it didn't make sense to you at first, but it's because you weren't truly aware of the purpose or the connection that it was meant to serve, right? You weren't sure of the intention that it was meant to serve because it logically did not make sense to you because in the past nothing that you were investing in, again, whether business, friendships, family, relationships, partnerships, however, whatever it is for you, right? Lifestyle, circumstances, environments you're placing yourself in, they didn't necessarily serve a purpose in your life, but they made sense logically because it just was something that you felt comfortable in, right? It made sense within the reality you were existing in. However, again, there was no emotional connection, there was no true purpose to your soul's fulfillment, to your soul's journey, right? And now that you're stepping into this new phase where you're being born into, you're being mindful or being encouraged to be mindful of the bond and the connection that it has within your life in its entirety, right? Because a lot of the times our purpose doesn't logically make sense to our mind, right? But spiritually, it makes sense to our soul's journey. So also be mindful of that, right? Because something doesn't make sense within the physical reality doesn't mean that it's not meant for your soul's spiritual journey, right? So you would have to know yourself as a whole in order to be aware of what that is, right? Mind, body, and soul. Clarify why the wheel, karma, things are turning. The page of pentacles, things are shifting. Whatever it is that you are investing in, you're definitely going to have to, the emperor, 100% commitment, 100%. Um, it's the emperor is action based, right? He does things with, um, it's almost like a show and prove energy, right? Where you don't really have to think things through, but you do things, or not necessarily say he doesn't think things through, because the King of Swords aspect does think things through. He's very strategic. He's very forward thinking, right? He plans things out. He doesn't do things without a specific strategy in mind. But also within that strategy, there is a sense of commitment to that plan, right? He's someone that sees things through. He's not someone that starts something and then doesn't finish it. So whatever this is definitely something that you are, again, you're committing to your soul's purpose, right? You're committing to tapping into that emotional aspect that you have been suppressing, right? You're now in a space of acknowledging the bond and the importance that your emotions contribute to your path, your journey, where it is that you're going, right? A lot of people think that you only have one mind, right? Where you have three minds, right? Not just one. You have your soul, which is the source, right? The power source of each brain source, right? And then you have your heart, which is also a source of intelligence. And then you have your mind, which is a source of intelligence. So all three, or the mind and the heart, are both um, fueled by the soul, right? The soul is what gives the brain power, and it is also what gives the heart power, right? It is the power source of your existence. And so now you're in a place of acknowledging, right? Learning things on a deeper level, right? This is you learning yourself on a deeper level. You may be learning new skills. You may be learning new sources of income, right? New levels of currency, new levels of wealth, new levels of success. You may be trying to gain an understanding about different sources or meanings within certain gifts, certain talents you have, certain resources that are available to you, right? This is definitely the wheel of karma is turning, right? You're in the learning phase, right? You're stepping back into that phase of the student in trusting your intuition and learning to trust your emotions as a source of intelligence, right? Hold on one second. Right. So yeah, definitely entering into this new phase is, it's almost as if you again are stepping back into that phase of the student where you are learning how to acknowledge your emotions without letting them overtake you, right? Learning how to balance them within the logical aspect, right? Not feeling like you have to overdo your emotions and also not feeling like you have to suppress them to the point where you're completely ignoring them, right? You're learning to find the balance within your mind, your body, and your mind, your heart, and your spirit, right? Learning to trust all three within balance instead of only going for the things that logically make sense, right? Because your spirit is the ultimate source of guidance, right? It starts again, it starts at the a lot of people think that balancing of the chakras starts at the crown, and it does not. It starts at the root, right? And it goes up. It starts at the root, it goes up to the chakra, sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, so on and so forth, right? So it is the sacral chakra that is, or the sacral solar, right? It's kind of in that area where the intuition lies, right around the gut, right? That's why your gut health is so important in having a healthy mind, right? Because again, it is that source that feeds the rest of the body, right? And so it is your spirit that is the first level of intelligence. Your heart is the second level of intelligence. And then your mind, which is your crown, is the third level of intelligence. But most people lead with their mind first, which is why a lot of times they do things that logically make sense but don't necessarily make sense to their life or their soul's purpose, right? Because they're again leading from the crown. You're starting at the end. But again, this energy is definitely, it's action oriented. So again, you're learning to lead from another level again as opposed to what you're used to, right? So again, if you're used to leading with your mind, now you're in the space of learning to lead with your heart, learning to lead with your spirit's intuition, right? Clarify demanding. Ace of Swords, the Goddess of Cups. 100% exactly what I just said. Literally what I just said. Knowing how to lead with your emotional intelligence, your intuition, right? The feminine energy speaks to, first of all, the moon represents feminine energy, the sun represents masculine energy, right? They work in tandem with one another. Both are necessary. One cannot exist without the other in order for things to remain balanced and in alignment, right? So the moon representing feminine energy represents intuition, right? It represents dreams. It represents your thoughts. It represents where you're, it just represents like a deeper sense of knowing, right? Your emotions, right? It's a connection to all things emotions, all things that the subconscious, right? And the Goddess of Cups, with the Ace of Swords, it's knowing, right? Knowing or leading with your emotional intelligence, right? So again, now you're in a space where you can no longer ignore the heart. You can't ignore it because now you're aware of the importance, right? You're aware of, it's so intense that you can't ignore it anymore. And so now you're just in a space where you're just having to gain a different, it's almost as if you're understanding emotional intelligence on a different level, right? You're, not to say that you were emotionally unaware before, you just may have been maybe emotionally aware of other people, the things around you. Well, now you're beginning to understand the importance of emotional intelligence and the connection that it has to your intention and your purpose in life, right? Within you, not necessarily within other people, although the two are connected. But again, having an awareness too of what it is that you are feeling emotionally connected to, right? And having an awareness of the things that are requiring your attention, the emotions that are requiring your attention, right? These spaces that you have distanced yourself from, that are now requiring your attention. They're requiring your love. They're requiring your affection. They're requiring your acknowledgement, your nourishment, right? So let's pull 4 cards. One card for what we can learn as a major lesson surrounding this message. One card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. And one card for the cycles and habits we can innovate to continue our growth and expansion surrounding this message. One card for what we can learn. Joy, feeling safe, right? Learning to accept your emotions without, again, having to suppress them, learning to find peace within experiencing an emotional circumstance, right? An emotional experience, right? Learning to feel safe and secure within your own emotions. That way, you are aware of feeling safe and secure within expressing them as well, right? Because if you don't feel safe and secure within acknowledging them within yourself, you're definitely not going to feel safe and secure within sharing them outwardly, right? Those two are connected. Again, something has to start internally before it's exercised on the physical, right? It starts in the body, it starts in your spirit, it starts in your soul before it is manifested within your physical reality. Whether you are conscious or not conscious of how this is manifesting in your life, things in your subconscious do manifest all the time, even if you're not aware of them, right? One card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message: truth, honesty, acceptance within what it is that you're truly connected to spiritually, within what it is that your soul desires, within what it is that your heart yearns for, right? Within what it is or the spaces that your heart feels safe and secure, and not ignoring those opportunities, not ignoring those spaces, not ignoring those um, truths. Honestly, accepting the truth of who you are, accepting the truth of what it is that you deserve, what it is that you desire, what it is that you feel connected to, what it is that makes you feel purposeful, and what it is that provides you a clear sense of clarity, right? Do you see the reflection here? The mirroring here. Don't ignore who you are. Don't ignore parts of yourself because you don't feel comfortable within them. That just means that you need to give them more attention to make them feel more comfortable, right? One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. Giving and receiving, right? Divine lineage. Remember, I was speaking to your legacy earlier. Live out loud. What is it? What purpose are you serving within what it is that you are investing in, right? Whether you're investing in something mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, right? However that's going to resonate for you, right? But what are you investing in that is providing purpose not only for you but for the legacy that you're trying to leave, right? And how are you exhibiting that energy, right? How are you creating the results of those investments, right? Are you only investing in things that make sense logically, or are you intentionally connecting to your spirit, your soul's purpose, your heart, what it is that you feel um, purposeful in within your emotional space, right? Within your spiritual purpose, within your journeys, your life's purpose, and are you creating those things without fear of rejection, without fear of persecution, without fear of judgment, right? Are you living in your truth spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, in every way? Or are you suppressing a part of yourself because you don't feel safe and secure existing within that area? One card for these cycles and habits that we can innovate to contribute to our growth and expansion. Shame with self-sabotage. Letting go of not acknowledging the parts of yourself that are yearning to be seen, right? If something is calling out to you, it's because you're probably not giving it enough attention. If it's something that you feel shameful about, it's probably because you have not acknowledged the importance of that experience, that opportunity, that circumstance, that happenstance, whatever it is for you, right? Be more in touch, be more in tune with who you are as a whole, right? Not acknowledging only your mind, not acknowledging only your spirit, not acknowledging only your heart, but aligning all of those aspects of yourself to create that sense of union within yourself, right? So that you can fully align with what it is that you're trying to create, with what it is that you're trying to manifest within this reality, right? Because you cannot manifest something into its entirety if you are not in union within yourself, right? Something, if you are misaligned within your spirit, within your mind, your body, your heart, then whatever it is that you are going to manifest outwardly is going to misalign with you in some area as well, right? So definitely keep that in mind. But that's the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonated. I know that if you made it to the end of